As Bitcoin inches its way toward 10K and Ethereum breaks the $200 psychological barrier, Warren Buffett just put his hands on Bitcoin for the first time. Let's hope this doesn't turn into a Peter Schiff 2.0. Meanwhile, despite market panic concerning the coronavirus outbreak, following the early week sell-off, equities, futures, and currency markets have responded strongly, the S&P itself surging 3% this week alone. With Bitcoin claiming its rightful seat at the financial table as digital gold and altcoins surging for the sky, I'm seeing crypto Twitter accounts reactivating after several years of dormancy now, cash tags being used to shill altcoins for the first time in about a year. This might be it, ladies and gentlemen. The real bull run. Let's cross our fingers and increase our leverage sliders and crack some cryptocurrency in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live in the studio. Today is Thursday, February 6th, 2020. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from, whether that is YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. If you want to support the show, make sure to subscribe, follow, share, and engage. You can also follow us on social media. It's over here, isn't it? I always point to the wrong area. Also follow us on social media, if so inclined. We're pretty active over there as well. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. We're going to be breaking down the meeting between Justin Sun and Warren Buffett, looking at the current price action of the markets. What are the indicators and algorithms telling us to do? We're also going to be taking your user-submitted questions and requests. So if you have any of those, put them in the live chat. The moderators will bring them to my attention. In new updates, there is a new premium Discord tutorial live here on YouTube. If you want a preview of what the signal delivery system looks like or what it's like to get the premium Discord, or you just want a guide to utilizing Discord usefully, please check out the premium Discord tutorial that our lead moderator Jack posted here on YouTube last night. We are still giving away a free t-shirt in this week's giveaway. Make sure to go to crackingcryptocurrency.com/giveaway for your chance to win. With that being said, I want to thank the guys who came out for yesterday's community mentoring session for premium advanced, professional, and elite tiers of the premium trading group. It was a fantastic mentoring session. We talked about hedging. We talked about positioning. We talked about investment. We talked about options contracts. We talked about a lot of stuff. And I want to thank you guys. You guys always make it a pleasure to do the live mentoring session. And we'll have another one next Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we always do. All right, with that being said, let's get into the markets with today's Breaking Bitcoin market analysis. It's so close. It was so close. It's almost the right episode. All right, guys. Here we are in the live scene. I want to thank everybody for following. Hopefully you guys like the new intro. Hopefully you guys like the new stream starting scene as well. I did do that over this week. Really busy. I mean, huge shout out to my team. They are really kicking things and taking names is the proverbial statement here. A lot to talk about today. We're going to keep it simple, of course. Let me pull up in my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. We're going to start off today by looking at weekly price action. I think this is a good beginning, especially because I know we're getting a lot of new viewers, so I just want them to kind of be aware of where we overall are in the market, some discretionary things that I look at. The first thing that I want to look at is the CC EMA script here on the weekly time frame. You guys can access this on TradingView. This is one of the public indicators that we've put out. The 200 weekly simple moving average is still establishing the range bottom and continuing to move up. It's a very basic indication of whether price is overall bullish or bearish on the weekly time frame. Again, moving up and establishing new range support at 5,400. The 55 weekly exponential moving average is for the first time beginning to tick back up, as this is going to be the second subsequent week. So good confirmation. The second week, the weekly 55 has begun moving up. Our sensitive exponential moving averages here on the weekly time frame are beginning to tick and trail price very quickly as well, all moving up for about 3 or 4 consecutive weeks now, after we avoided the potential 1355 EMA cross under, the secondary and the tertiary baseline cross under. Talked about this multiple times. That is one of the simplest signs that you can see whether the market dynamic has shifted on this macro time frame from bullish to bearish. We avoided that 1355 cross under. We swerved right above it. And what have we gotten? We've gotten some nice bullish expansion ever since then. Looking at the volume profile analysis, there are just a few levels that we have to kind of deal with as far as weekly closing basis. Sorry, my note here was as long as the 13 weekly EMA is above the 55, weekly pullbacks can be considered bullish entries. One thing that I did want to point out here real quick, we're going to take the lines off of the chart here just briefly, and I wanted to throw the new bottom feeder indicator on here for you guys and talk about the several signals that it gave over the last few, over the last few weeks. This is something that is new that has been developed. This will be available for premium subscribers soon. But the bottom feeder did signal over here on the weekly time frame, hitting take profit targets, and it last signaled down here at the bottom on the 9th of December, the close of that week, and hit its take profit target up here at 82.80. So that will be available for premium subscribers very soon. Okay, bringing back and looking at our analysis, two somewhat overhead levels of resistance left to clear. Let's see here. As you guys can see, let's pull open my object tree here. I think I'll have to point those out on the daily. Yeah. Keep it on the weekly for now. That's fine. And take off logarithmic for now to keep it simpler. Two levels of overhead resistance left. Going to be pointing out really the only high volume node that we have left above us, right around 10,500. What we've seen here on the daily time frame, you can see it a little bit clearly on the daily, and we'll see that when we go to the line chart of the daily, is these levels back from 2018 on the way down, being reclaimed, back tested as support, new levels of supply, new levels of demand, and then we get nice bullish expansion from that. And this is a very healthy, this goes hand in hand with, the way that many analysts look at the chart. A lot of people look at the chart like this, just reclamations of previous levels of resistance or reclaiming previous levels of supply and flipping them into levels of demand, which is the more appropriate way that I like to think about it, because then you actually bring in the fact that you have market participants doing this, and they're not magical lines on the chart. They are just areas where psychologically individuals tend to do things. Two levels of overhead resistance left, one coming at 10,387. That's really the top of the HVN and also our previous weekly close resistance. And then overhead, the highest weekly close that we've had over the last 2 years at 11,528. As we can see from the volume profile, getting above that level, 11,528, there is nothing but shallow volume by price. And I would expect a repeat of exactly what we saw in 2017, wild price acceleration through that area. If you guys are looking for what the impetus is for a new all-time high, it is a weekly close above that level, in my opinion, as an analyst. So what do I expect? I expect 10,387 to be tested. If the trend continues as it is right now, I expect 10,387 to be our next area where we might get a week of sideways, maybe 2 weeks of sideways. But overall, when we look back, breakage, reclamation, and ascension. Same with 11,528. Breakage, reclamation, and ascension, assuming that the bullish trend continues undeterred and we do not get some sort of exit signal on the weekly or daily time frame. Taking a look at the trading system so far. Again, things are quite healthy, taking off these levels of resistance and keeping things very simple, taking bottom feeder off for now. Just looking at the breaking Bitcoin indicator, last signal for weekly continuation did come 2 weeks ago, the close of the 20th of January. Again, the initial long signal came over here on the 6th of January. We talked about that at that time. We flipped the breaking Bitcoin initiator long. And then on the following subsequent week, the week prior to the pullback, which would have been a fine entry, you would have had to deal with some drawdown intra-week, but overall, an entry at that level would have been fine. Minx gave you the go-ahead for the long. You had final confirmation actually at the close of last prior week because of Wadatar explosion. Now, interestingly enough, when we're looking for actual accelerant for these nice Bitcoin appreciations that we do like to see, It is going to be Wadatar explosion is what I'm watching on the weekly time frame, watching for those weekly closes and watching for a rising explosion level from Wadatar on the weekly time frame, because we have not gotten that yet. And I do believe that when we do see that, we will see some rapid bullish appreciation that we have not seen yet so far, because we can go back and see when that occurred. We can see that, again, price is moving lazily upwards to the upside, and then we finally get that rising explosion level signal. And what does that lead? The entire bull run of 2019. We can see it similarly over here prior to both massive expansions in Bitcoin's price action back in 2017. We see one toward the end of April, which led to this massive run up over the course of May and June. And then we see it again signaling in July, leading to this massive run up. We fall off for a little bit, and actually a third time in October, right before the conclusion of the UASF, the user activated soft fork. And what happens? To the races. An all-time high. So we are going to see that again. We've had this nice, long, protracted pullback coming off the highs of 2019, the Q2 pump. We've had a nice pullback, significant correction, establishing a higher low, with the weekly 200 simple moving average moving up and establishing a new bottom at 5,400. I do not think that we are going to see price below 5,400, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The other thing to consider is here on the weekly, Minx is nowhere near the overbought territory. Interestingly enough, it depends on the nature of when we hit that overbought level. In this case, we are a little bit more attuned. I do think that we have a couple more weeks of upside. And then when will Minx reach that overbought level? I think when we are encountering that overhead resistance level around 10.5, that's where we will faff around a little bit. We'll see the indicator reset. And then again, 11.5. Daily, again, the breaking Bitcoin indicator looking very healthy. Rising Wadatar explosion level right here. Confirmation for the bullish long trend on yesterday's candle, which we did take. Minx confirming a continuation long today on the daily. And my short-term indicator flipping to the upside as well. This is my shortest term indication of price. This is the official signal to be out of shorts for those being ultra conservative or just cannot get themselves bullish after their bearish bias. I'm sorry for you guys if you are. I wanted to point out just one simple thing based on a question that I received in my email. I want to point out the breaking Bitcoin baseline dips here, and individuals asking why not buying the bottoms, or why, for example, these things flip bearish, because they're there to protect us. We're looking at a bullish expanding market. And I've been able to beat the Bitcoin alpha with my trading strategy since I've been trading Bitcoin since 2016. Now, the only difference here, what these are here to protect us from, it doesn't matter. I will take 10 of these failures. What separates me as a consistently profitable trader and a disciplined trader is listening to my system and protecting myself and establishing profits. So I made money shorting the market here. I did not make money shorting the market here. I'm going to make money going long on the market here again, just as I made money longing the market here and here. But I have preserved my capital and increased my profit factor on maneuvers like this, because you never know a priori when you crack that baseline, when you crack your trend line, when you crack your trending indicator, how far price is going to descend. All you know is that you have a higher statistical probability to see more correction to the downside than expansion to the upside. And I'm very happy every time that is wrong, just as I'm happy every time that it's right, because at the end of the day, I have an objective system that tells me exactly what to do when. It's never left up to my discretion. I want to point out Quadrigo ATR for take profit targets on the daily, seeing as we do have Minx confirmation and continuation coming off of today's candle. Current take profit zone is going to be between $10,090 and $10,810, looking at our ATR targets with invalidation with a hard stop at 91.99. Let's call it 9,200, and current long invalidation coming in right at the at the channel of the baseline, right around 94.80. So overall, HMA is hugging price quite nicely at this point in time. Our baseline is hugging price quite nicely, increasing the risk to reward ratio because the odds, again, our stop losses almost never get hit because of our early exit systems. All right, so seeing what's currently on the daily, seeing a little bit of a doji, a little bit of selling pressure coming in off today after the entry yesterday. Again, overall trend looking quite healthy. Still have orders at 9,340 to add to my position. I'll be updating those tonight. I suspect that they will not get filled now. And again, I did take a daily long position yesterday at full risk. All right, with that being said, don't have a whole lot to say about Ethereum today. Ethereum is performing quite nicely, but no objective signals to enter or exit. Turning our eye over to Tesla, I did just want to point out something interesting that I noticed yesterday. And yesterday we did have golden dot continuation. Golden dot continuation is a confirmation that one can go long, assuming that your system is agreeing, in conjunction with the reversal baseline bounce. Now, what is interesting about this particular trade setup is that you would have gapped down, you would have endured drawdown on the throughout the aftermarket. However, looking at historical stop and target systems from Quadriga ATR, you guys, let me bring this to the front. Visual order, bring to front. There you go. Hopefully, you guys can see that. And I'll pull open the data window. But TP1 would have been 795.56. And high of today's candle was 795.83. So getting the buy yesterday with the breaking Bitcoin system and Quadriga ATR, you actually would have been able to pull that reversal on Tesla. Tesla obviously hot. Tesla hot in the stocks. I have not sold all of my Tesla yet. I will sell my Tesla if we close below the baseline on the daily. Again, I kind of bought Tesla. I want to say it's probably 4 months ago, just kind of on a whim, not a whole lot of strategy behind it, just buying it to add to my portfolio. And I think I'll take advantage of this maneuver here. We'll see. Might be the right move, might not be the wrong move. But again, people put Tesla and Bitcoin in the same, people put Bitcoin and Tesla in kind of the same category. And I think that Tesla is a fantastic stock, the cult of Elon Musk. I think that you're safe to speculate on Tesla as long as Elon Musk is around and kicking. And, God willing, he invents that life extension therapy. So we'll see. Again, copy and pasting consciousness sounds easy. Cut and paste sounds difficult. All right. Looking at the broader market today. In USD pairs. Bitcoin dominance continuing to drop as altcoins continue to shoot for the skies. Again, my altcoin positions are doing quite fantastic. IOTX is one of the positions that I'm in. We'll go over my Forex trades as well. Bitcoin, RLC, Lend, Stacks, which I have a vested interest in. Stacks doing quite well today, continuing to hope that continues to push up. Ren, 0x, Tron, GT, Lend, Ravencoin, pretty much the entire market pumping to the upside in USD valuation, which is fantastic. Bitcoin dominance actually dropping down to fairly low levels as the altcoin continue to pump. So again, we could be in store for some quite face melting bullish expansion here on the altcoins, as we are broaching barriers. Again, I'm starting to see charts of people are starting to send me charts of double bottoms on the monthly on altcoins and things of this nature. Again, crypto Twitter is kind of a good gauge for seeing altcoin exposure. So it's pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's pretty exciting because we make so much money in bullish markets, guys. We make so much money. There's so much money for everybody to make. And I'm just excited. Guys. I'm not going to lie. All right, going over and looking at current positions. Give you guys an update. EuroCAD, I'd already taken 50% of my position off in profit up here. We have hit my break-even stop loss, so I am out of the EuroCAD. PoundCAD is the only trade open that I am active drawdown on. I took the re-entry trade right here, and so I am going to be exiting today based off of this exit signal. Still long on the Aussie Kiwi over here in the foreign currency markets. The Aussie Kiwi is performing great. Entered on this candle right here. Had 2 days of great bullish expansion. HOT USDT we are long on as a group. IOTX USDT we are long on as a group. I am short the euro dollar currently. That signal went out to premium members last night, as did the short for the pound dollar and the long for the dollar Swissy. So overall, again, doing fantastic in the foreign currency markets as well. I have pulled in more pips in 2020 right now than Q4, Q3 of 2019 combined. So great trades. Kiwi dollar, pound yen. They just continue to add up. So again, I'm really proud that we are now fully supporting foreign currency trades in the FX markets. And again, that is part of our official signal delivery system. We are only supporting the Oanda exchange currently, as that is my broker and all that I trade on. And as we continue to move forward, we will integrate support for CFDs such as ZAO in the precious metals and also commodities. All right, 1222. Let's take a brief look over at sensor charts. See what's going on the intraday for Bitcoin today. Again, nothing but significant buy orders coming in over the last hour here. Over the last 37 minutes, I see 100 and 36,000, 253,000, 168,000, and 213,000 in totality between price ranges of 97.40 to 97.23. So some fairly significant buys. And again, individuals buying the dip quite significantly now. I wouldn't say low volume. I'd say medium volume. It seems today 903 to 963 over the last hour, which is pretty decent. Which is pretty decent volume. Again, getting some distribution, getting some consolidation up here at the tops after tapping the recent high at 98.54, kind of a retest of that zone. Let's see here. We do have a significant buy wall coming in at 9,700 in the form of 158 Bitcoin, 96.50, another 159 Bitcoins. No significant sell walls until we really hit 295.55, 98.60 is kind of where the wall is currently at the day. And you can kind of see the dispersion between current price and 98.50 in the form of small pockets of Bitcoin. I expect those to get filled because that is what I see when sellers actually want their positions to be bought into. Is that dispersion. Let's see here. Counters ratio over the last hour, nothing but bearish activity, looking kind of ripe for a turnaround here moving forward. Looks like a good dip in my opinion. We're going to take a look. I'm going to log in here and look at BitMEX stats. Maybe. Somebody break tensor charts? Tensor charts login page does not want to load. Perhaps we will not look at BitMEX stats. All right, we're just going to hold off on that for right now. Apologies. Sorry, guys. I promise I am going to remove that button. I'm going to remove it right now. Every time I hit F5, it kicks us over to that stupid screen. There we go. Aha, fixed. So we will check out ScalpX Index. Here on the hourly, again, open interest continuing to rise. Overall, having a little bit of a pullback over in this area, not taking out any kind of significant lows or anything like that. Social index fairly negative. Social index negative in this aspect. I don't understand what people want out of a bullish market cycle. So a lot of disbelief coming from the bears right now at this point in time. Fear and greed index is sticking its way into greed currently right now, and market order flow is signaling a strong sell at this point in time. So again, possible pullbacks. I would be overly excited if my 93.40 orders got filled at this point in time, but I will be updating those to a more realistic price at this point in time based on current price action. And of course, all that will go out to the premium members this evening. I wanted to remind you guys about the T-shirt giveaway that we are doing. 114 people have entered so far. There are 3 days left. We will announce the winner on Monday for you guys, so you guys have over the weekend to do it. Lots of ways to enter, lots of ways to participate. Wanted to point out the free Discord walkthrough that we have here. And also, the team has been hard at work on what we call Operation FAQ. So this is going to be a web page that's going to be on our website, and it covers many frequently asked questions to individuals inquiring about how the group works, what they will learn, what their ROI will be, what the group results are. Of course, all that information is public at results.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Only trading group that publishes their results every single month. You can see our results stretching back 18 months. Let's see here. But also trading and investment related questions about Discord, questions about our socials. Lots of good information is going to be on there for premium members and non-premium members alike. That will be up and live on our website starting Monday. Absolutely. It could be up there as soon as tomorrow, but it will definitely be up there by Monday. Okay. With that being said, it's 12:27. I want to thank today's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, Spectre Security Coin. If you have any questions about security, if you need any help with your personal OPSEC, make sure to go get a one-on-one consultation with my friends over at Spectre Security Coin. There is a link in the description below. Tell them Justin sent you. They'll be more than happy to help you out. In other news, I want to thank them for sponsoring today's crypto comment giveaway, where we give away 8,000 XSPC every single day to a random YouTube commenter. In yesterday's video has 9 potential winners. We're going to randomly pick a winner, and it was Crypto Kangaroo coming in for his second hot day of victory, my friend. Thank you. I know who you are. I will go ahead and double up. You just sent me your address, your deposit address yesterday. I will go ahead and send you another 8,000 drops in the bucket, my friend. Thank you so much for your participation and support. He says, Bitcoin, a digital store of value, gold, a tangible store of value, both yummy. I agree. Definitely do not want to ignore gold in your portfolio if you are a rational investor at this point in time, in my opinion. All right, with that being said, guys, I want to get into today's crypto currently segment and break down the latest news in the cryptocurrency markets. Let's go. All right. Now, Tron CEO Justin Sun has finally had his dinner with the billionaire investor Warren Buffett. Now, as some may recall, last May, Justin Sun paid $4.57 million for a celebrity dinner with Warren Buffett, which was originally scheduled for July 2019 billed as an opportunity for Justin Sun to pitch crypto to the legendary investor. Unfortunately, Justin Sun had to cancel the dinner, allegedly due to kidney stones, but some suspected it was due to an intervention by the Chinese government. Now, either way, the Tron CEO was finally able to sit down to the overdue meal with Buffett last month, at which Sun allegedly gifted Buffett his first Bitcoin. Now, according to Justin Sun, he had bought and loaded the Bitcoin gift on a Samsung Galaxy Fold device before presenting it to Buffett. Sun also threw in 1.9 million TRX on there, worth roughly $40,000 at this time of reporting. Now, back at the dinner, the two of them also dined with 4 other guests: Litecoin creator Charlie Lee, eToro CEO Yanni Asaya, CFO of Huobi Chris Lee, and head of the Helen Hai from Binance. Now, the meal took place at 6 p.m. January 23rd at the Happy Hollow Club, a country club in Buffett's hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. And quote, "It was really an honor, and I'm grateful for Mr. Buffett's dinner, wisdom, and vision," said Sun in a statement. He also said he would take Mr. Buffett's advice and guidance to make Tron a better ecosystem business with all the partners in the blockchain space and beyond. It should be noted that Warren Buffett himself has not commented yet on the dinner, and he's also previously called Bitcoin a delusion with no unique value and rat poison squared. Did the roundtable with industry figures from the world of crypto, along with Justin Sun's generous gift, change Bitcoin's opinion at all? Well, we don't really know yet. But let's hope that Justin Sun took the time to explain to Buffett how passwords and storage work with crypto, though, so that he doesn't end up like another Peter Schiff, gifted Bitcoin only to lose it later. Now, in case you didn't know, the meal is part of a 2-decade-long tradition in which every year Buffett auctions off a seat at his dinner table with proceeds going to charity. Justin Sun's donation has been the largest on record, coming in at over $1 million more than the previous record of $3.4 million in 2016. Now, Sun has also had another high-profile dinner while in California last month, this time with Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple. They dined at the Mandarin Gourmet restaurant in Cupertino, California, from which Sun tweeted that it was an honor and that he's looking forward to their partnership. Now, the notion of a potential Tron-Apple partnership had Twitter buzzing before it was quickly pointed out that Woz hadn't worked at the company since 1985. So just calm down, ladies and gentlemen, calm down. Now, in more pressing news, as we've been covering on this show for some time, central bank digital currencies are a rising trend on the global financial stage. We discussed the recent press release from the Bank of England, revealing how together with 4 other central banks, they will be forming a collaborative group in order to evaluate the use case for their own central bank digital currency. Now, when Bitcoin came online more than a decade ago, few could have predicted this blockchain-powered virtual currency would trigger such drastic changes to the infrastructure of the existing financial system. Now, this has forced central banks to investigate and adapt to the new technology. And the effect of blockchain and cryptocurrency technology is now even being felt at the U.S. Federal Reserve, with Reuters now reporting on what they are calling the Fed coin. And now the United States Fed is going to be potentially issuing this soon. Reuters reported yesterday on comments made by the Fed Governor Lael Brainard, who said that the central bank is analyzing issues such as policy design and legal consequences and how they are related to the issuing of its own digital currency. While speaking at yesterday's conference at the Stanford Graduate School of Business, Brainard had said, quote, "By transforming payments, digitization has the potential to deliver greater value and convenience at lower cost." In comments which seemed to be hinting at the Libra projects, he expressed concerns that some entities will intend to issue global digital currencies outside of the purview of regulatory control, saying that some of the new players are outside the financial system's regulatory guardrails, and their new currencies could pose challenges in areas such as illicit finance, privacy, financial stability, and monetary policy transmission. Where have we heard this before? Also mentioned was how the Federal Reserve is currently working on its own real-time payment and settlement system. It is said the Fed is now reviewing 200 comment letters that touch upon the proposed structure and objective of the digital service. Fed Governor Brainard also stated that the central bank is conducting research and experimentation related to distributed ledger technologies and their potential use case for digital currencies, including the potential for a CBDC. Now, it wasn't long ago, as early as 2018, when the US Fed claimed that there was no point in issuing its own digital currency. Ironic that Governor Brainard was among some of the officials who publicly asserted the Fed's stance against the trend of digital currencies. And back then, CBDCs were already a talking point on the global stage, with the Bank of England and the Bank of Russia being 2 early central banks to endorse the idea of digitizing the dollar. Now it would appear the Fed is in a rush to adopt that same concept, especially after 2019 saw the rapid development of the People's Bank of China of their own intentions to launch a CBDC of their own, the digital yuan. Now, on this particular topic, she stated yesterday that given the dollar's important role, it was essential that the Fed remain on the frontier of research and policy development regarding central bank digital currencies. Now, while other sovereign nations developing digital currency is one threat to the United States, the other is coming from corporate coins such as Facebook's Libra, which could undermine the existing central banking system on a global level, not to mention Bitcoin itself. Now, while Fed officials and United States politicians alike objected to Libra over concerns of consumer privacy and protections, quietly, they worry about the threat to their economic hegemony via the existing system. Libra indeed seems to have been what lit the fire under central bankers, with Bank of Japan executive Hiromi Yamaoka, his recent comments revealing that it was the challenge posed by Libra which caused major central banks to form the new group to study CBCDs, central bank digital currencies. Now, the latest decision, both by the BOJ, the BOE, and the European Central Bank, and 3 other central banks, it's not just about sharing information. It's also an effort to keep something like Libra in check, Japanese executive told Reuters. So what do we got here today, ladies and gentlemen? We have potentially another Peter Schiff 2.0, or the realization that many people still do not get cryptocurrency and that the world is changing in front of their eyes. And we have a new group, not a new group, but I'd say a new cohort of individuals that see this change, saw it over a decade ago, and are here to carpe diem on the advances of the world. Jobs in blockchain, jobs in cryptocurrency, the liquidity of the market and the ability to trade offer real opportunities and potentials for individuals who are not satisfied with what they're doing in life. You know, cryptocurrency technology and blockchain and the changing trends of the world offer for the first time amidst a sea where we desperately need it the most. at a time when manufacturing jobs are going the way of the dinosaur, when automation and planned obsolescence are having ruinous effects on economies and the labor force, we finally have an opportunity for those who are willing to step up, learn to code, and change their lives. We have an opportunity for those individuals to employ the next generation of job development, the next generation of technological development, and breakthroughs that can really improve our economy and our societies. Not to mention the opportunities for market participants such as myself and yourself to actively trade these markets. So, irregardless of what price does, I hope that you see these trends, that you are capitalizing on them and taking advantage of them, especially if you are not fulfilled, if you do not see a bright future with your current occupation, if you do not see a bright future with what you are currently doing with your life, if you feel unsatisfied, and if you feel like you want to have an impact on the future development of the world, if you feel like you want to ride a trend, you are looking at it. Just by being on this channel, you are already there. Reach out and seize the day, guys. Because the opportunities are almost limitless here. Almost limitless. It's helped transform my life. This technology has transformed my life, my company's life, so many people's lives that I know. And the ability for investment, for trading, for market activity, for job development is unfathomable. It's unfathomable. What launched 10 years ago as an experiment is now causing central banks and governments to scramble to reorganize their system. The idea that the genie can be put back in the bottle is ridiculous, right? And the more and more that this progresses, the more and more I tune out to whatever mainstream media says, to whatever central media says, and just look at what banks, governments are actually doing. Scrambling. So, be part of the force that's making them scramble. All right, with that being said, guys, it's 12:40. 20 minutes. Questions and answers. What a time to be alive, guys. Carpe diem. I'll give you guys an update. Let me see if I can pull it up in a sustainable fashion here. Van Ben, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my friend. Crypto Caveman, I see you coming through with a 5 CAD. Kinarak, thank you so much for the sub. Steve King, thank you for the sub. Let's see here. Let's see if I can give you guys... It's got to be a good way to do this. Window capture. There we go. Got to be a good way to do this. And I figure this might be the best way. I'm going to work out with my team the best way to do it kind of in the future, but here we go. Open P&L. I guess I'll have to slide over here, won't I? Open P&L for the group, 48%. These are just my trades. Obviously, we have multiple analysts providing groups and signals to the trade. Actually, I need to kind of update the price on the euro dollar here. Google Finance doesn't do the absolute best for FX here. But just looking at open P&L for my current trades right now. Overall, looking at, let's see here, just 8% since the beginning of February right now. Total ROI increase on capital tracked for the group. So good time in the group. With that being said, let's head over here and do the Q&A section. All right, let's see what you guys got for me today. First thing, as always, did I put lemons in the basket yet? I don't think I put lemons in the basket yet. Shout out to the 18 people watching over here on DLive. Yeah, let's throw some lemons in this here basket for you guys. And we'll open up this chest here really soon. Thank you so much, Too Easy. I appreciate it. Team works hard, man. Let's see here. Let's start at the bottom. RK says, hey, Justin, what would invalidate a Bitcoin continuation long today? Well, if you are trading off of the Minx continuation long, what would invalidate that would at this point be price correcting to the downside and Minx crossing back under the noise line. So I think that that's unlikely today. Again, this is all going to depend on what your particular system and algorithm is. My continuation system came yesterday when we crossed back above the baseline. So for the same metrics here, descending down into the no trade zone would disallow you from taking continuation trades moving forward. Closing below the baseline would disallow continuation trades to the downside. Looking at Minx for the continuation signal, if that is what's going to be your impetus for taking the trade to the upside, then if Minx crosses back down to the downside, or if the baseline or the other systems invalidate, then yes. But again, specifically here, the main things that I would be looking for here on the daily time frame, just following the algorithm, would be closing below the levels of 94.67 currently at this point in time. 94.67 is where I would be exiting the trade, and getting that Minx cross under potentially if that is going to be your early exit system. Of course, I have another early exit system, which is actually not loaded at this point in time because the spring hasn't loaded to the upside. So just going to have to rely on the baseline at this point in time. Don Candon asks, will 20 XRP be life-changing in a few years? You know, there is an element here when we talk about investment that, you know, XRP has as much potential to pump just as anything else. I mean, it's one of the top coins. It has a large market cap. It's got a massive company behind it that I don't think is doing a great job pumping it. I don't think that it's going to be the tech that ultimately takes over the world. But something that I've learned over the years is that the market is largely irrational. So just because I disagree fundamentally with the way that XRP has structured their blockchain doesn't mean that it won't appreciate in value. Again, a rising tide lifts all boats. Crypto Caveman, thank you so much for the $5 CAD donation, my friend. He says, hey, Justin and team, all the best to you gents. What do I think about holding Basic Attention Token as a long-term position? You know, I really like Basic Attention Token. I like the way that they've created their model. I think that Brave Browser is fantastic. Obviously, it's what I use for the stream. I use a combination of Brave Browser and Chrome for everything that I do personally. I really like Brave Browser. Doesn't necessarily mean the Basic Attention Token is going to appreciate rapidly in price. But overall, again, you kind of have a very committed team there, a very committed development team. One of the few cryptocurrency companies that made something as a legitimate use case at this point in time. I don't think there's an issue with holding Basic Attention Token from a fundamental perspective as a long-term position. I hold Basic Attention Token. I've held Basic Attention Token for a while. You guys can tip that if you like. All that Basic Attention Token is just held for, to help give back and help improve the stream. So. Wayne Arndt, not Zcash today, Manero. XMR USD. Let's just look on ye old Bitfinex. Let's see here. Manero is good. Let's see here. As I said, I think the last time we looked at Manero, we did get the continuation signal here and full confirmation on this candle right here, leading us to this nice kind of impressive wave to the upside. We are getting a indecision doji candle on today with Minx trailing underneath the noise line. So in a situation like this, I'd be a little bit more hesitant on re-entry at this point in time. Do we have any kind of... No, we don't really have any kind of bearish divergence. We are getting a continuation signal on the daily price down at which will be invalidated with a close below $74.88. You know, with the market pretty hot up here at the top, pullbacks would be nice, although this is going to be the first continuation signal that we've gotten. Again, we got a continuation signal over here on the 4th of February, 2020. So seeing as that we are in a macro bullish market, it does pay to be a little bit more aggressive with longs. And, you know, I'm a conservative trader, so there's going to be a portion of me that's always like, oh, wow, price is really high and we're getting a continuation signal. I always like to see pullbacks and then continuation, right? But maybe it will pay to be aggressive. So currently we are getting, the only thing that I don't like is minks curling to the downside. However, potentially confirming that we are going to be getting a reset here on the indies. As long as price is above 74,887, this looks good to me. Current take profit zone is going to be 81.99, stretching up to 90.46 for a second continuation trade. Hard stop at 71.40, but again with invalidation with daily closes below 74.88. Looks good to me. I like Manero. Third Dimension is asking for SDC. SmileDirectClub, huh? Relatively new over here on the SIBO. Fresh continuation signal from minks on yesterday's candle and the short-term indicator flipping bullish to the upside as well. We've never lost the baseline. This is overall macro bullish. We are kind of we are looking like we want to break out of this pendant consolidation. So what are you going to see to confirm that breakout? Well, our volatility filter hasn't kicked to the upside yet. As we can see, we are still trading below the explosion level with a falling explosion level. That's a little dangerous, but if you want to be aggressive, again, this is a stock to be aggressive on. Price currently trading at what? 14.34 with clear invalidation at 13.70. I think the risk is worth the reward most likely on this one. Again, we are in a macro bullish trend, as you guys can see. Indicator flipped bullish, macro bullish over here. Volatility has died out, but again, we are consolidating, have been consolidating for several weeks now, and it's looking like we want to push up and test. Following yesterday's indecision candle, we are putting in another indecision candle, but with a higher close. Again, I think that being aggressive on this one might pay out. We've got a little bit until earnings. I don't know anything fundamentally about SmileDirectClub. The technicals do look good here. The technicals do look good. Again, fresh minks continuation after recovering from the overbought zone over here. And no recent top yet currently. So this actually looks quite healthy. Again, I'm not familiar with any of the kind of fundamentals on SmileDirectClub. I would prefer to review that before giving a recommendation. But just from a technical perspective, this is good. Again, continuation signal over here, not continuation today. However, the short-term indicator flipping to the upside, and again, confirmed continuation on yesterday's candle, meaning that you're roughly entering right where you should have anyways. Upside targets of 15.37 to 17.39. Hard stop loss at 12.84. But again, clear invalidation if we close below $13.70. King Royal Industries, what happened to meeting with us this morning? You guys waited for an hour. I waited for 30 minutes. All right. So we can send another meeting. I would love to get with you guys. That's why I asked to meet with you guys at the beginning of the week. What's up is that nobody on my team exchanged a meeting invite link with your team, and it was exchanged last minute, and I sat in the meeting room for 30 minutes. I don't do that. So if you guys would like to reschedule a meeting, reach out to me this afternoon. I'd be happy to do such a thing. Wendy2 says, could we look at US Steel $X 1 week and 8 hour plays? Just a small request. United States Steel Corp right here. Oh, this looks good, man. This looks good. Again, on the daily, just breaking above a negative baseline for the very first time with daily continuation signal. This looks good. Nice pullback on steel right here. This is something I would probably get aggressively. Minks coming up, wanting to cross above the zero line, flipping us into a bullish trend after a while. Look at how depressed this is. I think this has got some room to go, baby. Yeah, all right. Where's my Robinhood? I'm kidding. But maybe I'm not. All right, anyways, clear invalidation at $9.18. Current take profit targets of $9.90 to $10.78. I would take some profit off at $9.90 and let this baby fly. Can you imagine what happens if we get a rising explosion level on this thing right here? I mean, Mink's about to flip above the baseline for the very first time. Again, we don't lose that bullish macro trend now until 889. So this is kind of pretty significant, man. This is pretty significant. And golden dot continuation. This is good. This is good. That's the daily. That's not what you asked for. You wanted to look at the weekly. Oh, come on, man. Just a second. And do all this work to make things simple. Weekly says no. Weekly says no on steel. The only thing that looks really good on steel is that Minx briefly touched oversold levels right here and is recovering. So for a reversal signal, Minx is telling you to be aggressive. We don't have a bottom feeder signal. The last bottom feeder signal was over here. That hit take profit. That was a beautiful trade. Take the bottom feeder off for right now. But on the weekly, I'm sorry. Trending, we're still trending to the downside. Again, discretionarily, we did reach oversold here on the weekly time frame, which I think is important. So the weekly is not confirming a bullish trend. We actually need to get above $10.17 for us to do that. But the daily looks good. And again, we take our trades on the daily. As far as the 8-hour, I just told you the daily was bullish. Why do we got to go look at the 8-hour? So we can be bullish faster? Eight-hour looks like the daily, man. Choo choo. It's the first stock somebody sent me that I'm excited about in a while. Caprica says, what parts of the breaking Bitcoin indicator need to agree in order to take a golden continuation? So the point of the golden continuation is just to tell you when it's okay to take when it's okay to take a continuation, right? So you are going to have to, again, this is part of PTP, which is developing your continuation system, right? Now, typically it's going to come from a primary initial signal. But what I prefer and what a lot of people are going to be doing is utilizing either another indicator or a confluence of their currently existing indicators, right? So for example, when the golden continuation signals, that's telling you that you're safe, you're within range to take a continuation trade. What you can do is if the rest of your system agrees. So for example, if WADA is good, if Minx is crossing a significant level, if Minx is giving you a crossover, if whatever system that you're using, if whatever indicator that you guys have on your charts is signaling, then you're good to go. It deals with range, right? It deals with range, and it's part of the baseline, right? It's part of the baseline to tell you when you are within range for it to be safe to take continuation, when the risk to reward ratio is in your favor because of your proximity to the baseline. It's not actually a momentum signal in and of itself, right? So two ways to do this. If you're getting the golden dot immediately, then you can take the trade. If you're being aggressive, again, if you're in a bullish environment, it's letting you know when the pullback is kind of attractive enough for you to re-enter with a better risk to reward ratio. The other thing that you can do is you can note the golden dot continuation. And once your system gives you a signal to re-enter or take a long, once whatever tells you what direction to trade tells you that direction to trade, and your volatility filter, which tells you when to trade, tells you that it's okay to trade, you go to the upside. It is 12:56 and it is time to open up that chest, baby. As soon as I find it. Ha! Here it is. Thoughts on Cosmos? Just like every other altcoin, man. Thank you so much, Squeaky Tadpole. I really appreciate that. He says, I've watched your channel grow so much from when I first started to watch. Great job. I cannot say that enough. Thank you, man. And guess what? You get rewarded with 16 lemons, my brother. Squeaky Tadpole, big winner today. Ricky T, Sanic 2 Fast, Eth1, and Forza World TV. Thank you guys for all the support over there on D-Lab, my brothers. A shout out to the 5 lovely people watching over there on the Twitcher. And the lion's share over here. Lion's share, 119 of you guys watching on YouTube. Hopefully the guys watching over on Roku are having a great day as well. With that being said, where can I look at the price of Hex? Somebody let me know that. I know I can't look at it. I know I can't look at it on TradingView. Is it on Hex's like it's on CoinGecko apparently. Respectable. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it, right? Doing pretty good. Congratulations, hexstat.com. Thank you. Wow, these guys got a whole lot going on, man. Is this projected? Cool, cool beans. Four sats. You could have bought it for 1 sat. Shout out to the people who bought it 1 sat. Cryptonomics says Hex is a scam, and Mr. Ether says, I just made 430%. I'll take it. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin, your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for traders. If you guys support the show, if you guys enjoy what we're doing, make sure to support us by subscribing on the social media, here on YouTube as well. Leave a thumbs up on the video. It's highly appreciated. The team does a fantastic job and works hard every single day, so make sure to let them know how much you appreciate them so we can continue to bring you this awesome content. If you guys would like guidance and assistance on your pathway to becoming a profitable trader consistently, make sure to check out everything that we do in the group at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link in the description below, as well as, I am told by scientists, links to everything you could need to enjoy a sustainable life. Maybe if I put links to coffee and some MCT oil down there, it would be a little bit better of a link section. But anyways, shout out to my team. They did a fantastic job today. Thank you guys so much for all the support, for all the responses. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's get this money, baby. I am excited. Guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, leave them in the comment section down below. And I will try to respond to you as quickly as I can. Cheers, guys. Trade safely and be excellent to one another.